Port Charles never does quiet, and February 5 promises to prove that once again. Secrets are bubbling, loyalties are shifting, and emotions are about to explode across town. By the time the dust settles, Drew will be left stunned by a revelation he never saw coming, while Chase finds himself pushed so far that he completely loses his cool. And as always in Port Charles, the ripple effects will touch everyone. Let's dive into the drama. Drew's world gets rocked. Drew has been trying to keep everything in his life balanced: his relationships, his responsibilities, and the lingering shadows of his complicated past. But balance is a fragile illusion in Port Charles, and February 5 shatters it. He begins the day believing he's finally getting ahead of the chaos. There's progress on a personal matter he's been carefully managing, and for once, he feels cautiously optimistic. But that optimism doesn't last long. A conversation meant to reassure him instead opens a door he never expected to walk through. Someone close to him, someone he trusted, drops a truth that flips everything upside down. At first, Drew refuses to believe it. Denial is easier than confronting the implications. But as the details pile up, the truth becomes impossible to ignore. And the worst part, the revelation doesn't just affect him, it has consequences for someone he loves. By the time the scene ends, Drew isn't just shocked, he's shaken to his core. The question now isn't just what he'll do next, it's who he'll become because of it. Chase reaches his breaking point. Meanwhile, Harrison Chase has been trying to keep his composure for weeks. He's played the good guy, the patient partner, the calm voice of reason. But patience has limits. February 5 marks the day Chase finally hits his. It starts small, a misunderstanding, a comment taken the wrong way, the kind of moment that usually gets smoothed over with a deep breath and a reassuring smile. Except this time, the pressure has been building for too long. When Chase realizes that someone he cares about may have crossed a line, emotionally or otherwise, the frustration he's been burying bursts to the surface. And it's explosive. This isn't the calm, composed Chase viewers are used to. This is raw, emotional, and completely unfiltered. Voices rise, accusations fly, feelings spill out that have clearly been simmering for weeks. For the first time in a long time, Chase isn't worried about keeping the peace. He's worried about the truth. And the fallout could change his relationship forever. Brooke Lynn caught in the middle. Of course, when Chase loses his cool, Brooke Lynn finds herself right in the center of the storm. Brooke Lynn has been juggling her own complicated emotions, trying to protect the people she loves while keeping the peace. But peace in Port Charles is always temporary. As Chase's anger erupts, Brooke Lynn is forced to confront the possibility that things aren't as stable as she thought. The cracks she's been trying to ignore suddenly become impossible to miss. She wants to fix things, she always does. But this time, fixing things might require admitting uncomfortable truths about Chase, about their relationship, and about herself. And once those truths come out, there's no putting them back. Carly senses trouble. Elsewhere, Carly's instincts are in overdrive. She can feel the tension building in multiple corners of her world, and experience has taught her that when things feel off, they usually are. Carly begins putting pieces together, noticing connections others might miss. A conversation here, a suspicious silence there, a feeling she can't quite shake. And Carly doesn't ignore her instincts. She acts on them. Her involvement could be the spark that sets off another chain reaction, because whenever Carly starts digging, secrets rarely stay buried. Nina plays the long game. While emotions run hot across town, Nina is playing things differently. Calm, calculated, patient. She's watching events unfold with a quiet intensity, carefully choosing her moments to step in. Nina knows that timing is everything, and she's determined not to make a move until the moment is perfect. But patience doesn't mean kindness. It means strategy. And when Nina finally acts, the results could surprise everyone. Tension builds at the hospital. Over at General Hospital, the pressure is rising. The hospital has always been the heartbeat of Port Charles, but lately, that heartbeat has been racing. Staff tensions, personal conflicts, and the constant stream of crises have left everyone on edge. On February 5, that tension becomes impossible to ignore. A disagreement between colleagues escalates, turning professional stress into something deeply personal. Lines blur between work and personal lives, and suddenly the hospital feels less like a sanctuary and more like a battlefield. For some, the day ends with new alliances. For others, it ends with new enemies. Secrets refuse to stay hidden. If there's one theme tying February 5 together, it's this: secrets don't stay hidden forever. Drew's shocking revelation, Chase's emotional explosion, Carly's growing suspicions, Nina's quiet strategy. Every storyline points toward the same truth. The walls around Port Charles are closing in on the secrets people have been trying to protect. And once those secrets come out, nothing will be the same. The emotional aftermath. By the end of the episode, the emotional landscape of Port Charles has shifted. Drew is left questioning everything he thought he knew. Chase is forced to face the consequences of his outburst. Brooklyn is caught between love and reality. Carly is closer than ever to uncovering the truth. And Nina is preparing for her next move. It's the kind of day that changes trajectories, the kind that sets the stage for weeks of drama to come. Looking ahead, if February 5 proves anything, it's that Port Charles is heading into a storm. Relationships are being tested, trust is cracking, and the truth is inching closer to the surface. Drew's shock will spark new questions. Chase's anger will spark new conflicts. And the choices everyone makes next could shape the future of Port Charles in ways no one expects. Because in this town, the drama never ends. And tomorrow is always ready to raise the stakes.